What's up, everybody? I've had a lot of requests about how I set up my rig for bass fishing, what I use, what type of baits, So I'm going to break it down for you guys step by step here. Stay tuned. Alright, a little breakdown of what I'm using here first. I got my ugly stick 6 foot medium heavy rod. It holds up to an 8 to 20 pound line, which I currently have a 12 pound test fluorocarbon line on here with a bait casting reel. It's an older Fluger Templar reel, but it's been pretty reliable for me. And I just respooled this recently. Before that, it was a not so good mono line on there. So let's go back down to this end and we're going to get started here. The first thing we got here is a 1/8 ounce bullet weight, and it's pretty light. I don't like to use real heavy weight because you tend to get hung up a lot at the bottom, snagged on rocks, logs, whatever. The reason I use the bullet weight because it goes in line opposed to your typical split shot weights or the kind that you crimp on with pliers. These are a little bit better, so as you see, the line feeds straight through. And the reason this is good is because this moves freely up and down the line as you're reeling in, doing your retrieval. That way, if you do end up getting stuck on something, this weight will move, push out of the way. So if it gets like hung up between a rock or something, you could pull and this weight will slide out of the way, allowing you to like pull up and free your line a little bit easier than if you were using, if you had the weight pegged, or if you're using like I said, little clamp weights. So this, we'll put that on there first, and then I'm going to put on this swivel next, really small swivel. They have different sizes of these, but I tend to like the smaller ones better for the same kind of reason with the weight, because if you do happen to get stuck on something, the smaller the better. It's easier to get it free, it could fit through tight spaces easier, and the line won't get tangled up on it as bad. And what I like about the swivels, these clasp swivels, is that it allows for easy, change up while you're out in the field. You can just open it, hook something else on there, lure, leader, whatever you prefer. Clasp it back up, you're good to go. Pretty easy. So we're gonna go ahead and show you how I tie this all on. I do like a hybrid knot. I start with a polymer, and then I do a couple, normal overhand knots to tighten it all up, extra secure. So we're going to take the line, leave about, I usually leave about 6 to 8 inches. I fold it right here. I pinch it kind of tight. What you want to do is crimp it right about here, because this actually has to fit through the eye of the swivel. Or if you want to use a hook instead of a swivel, you can do it that way as well. Just push it through, just like that. So we gotta get a little bit tighter. There we go. We push it through the eye. Bring it up about halfway, about the halfway point, so you have a nice big loop sticking out. And then all you're going to do is bring this around just like you would a normal knot. You're going to run this loop here. You're going to have a loop sticking out of the top here and this double loop here at the bottom. So you're going to take your single loop. You're going to run it right through the double loops here. Just like that, just like you would if you were tying a regular knot. And then you're going to pull. Pull that through, see how it's closing up? Now you want to make sure that you don't pull super tight just yet. So the next step you want to do is take your swivel or your hook, whatever you have, and you want to run it through the big loop here, straight through like this. So this big loop is now on the other side. See, just like that. Now you want to take your main line that's attached over here to the weight, your main line, and you want to start to pull. Pull firmly here, just keep pulling. You'll see that big loop start to close around the end of the swivel or the hook or whatever it is you're using. And then we'll just keep pulling until it closes all the way on there. Just like that. Now what you want to do is take your tag end, pull that a little bit, tighten it up, and then I'll take both ends and I'll just give it a nice little tug here just to make sure that's pretty tight. Now a lot of people will moisten the line before they pull their knots closed. It helps dress it a little bit neater, a little bit better, but I'm just doing a quick run through this here so you get the basic idea. What I like to do is I like to, like I said, I do a hybrid. You know, it makes it a little bit stronger. So what I like to do is grab your main line, your tag end here, put them together like you're gonna, you know, tie a regular overhand knot. But what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna wrap it once. I'm gonna wrap that tag end through there again, and usually do it about three. You could do about 3 or 4 times here. Put it through there again, and then I'm gonna take the whole thing. As you see, it's got like a little twist to it there. Now we'll tighten it up. See, that makes the knot a little bit bigger. Makes the knot there just a little bit bigger, a little bit stronger. I like to just pull both ends here, get it nice and tight. And there you go. That's basically, you know, once you see everything's closed up there, pretty solid. I've never broken one of these knots. Grab our scissors here. We'll clip off the tag end right next to the knot here. We'll just clip off the tag end. And that's it. And there you have. Now, if you look, now the weight will come up against that swivel. You can see how it slides. It moves freely back and forth. See that? Like I said before, some people will peg that weight. Here at the end, you can use like a bobber stopper or the old-fashioned way and break off a toothpick in there. If you don't want that weight to slide, you could just stick like a toothpick or a bobber stopper right in that hole there, and it will hold that in place. But I like to have it moving freely, like I said, just because it helps. You know, if you get stuck, this can push right out of the way and free you up a lot easier. Okay, so now for bait, hook, and all that fun stuff. So I'm setting this up for a wacky worm rig, which, you know, I've had a lot of luck with that, especially catching bass. So these rubber worms here, so these things come in different brands, different sizes, different colors. And what's good about these is you can rig them up several different ways, as you see here. And it says weightless because some do actually have weights like that run through them. They do make them like aluminum weights that run through the middle. But these are the weightless ones. You can set it up split shot rig, Texas rig, all kinds of different ways. So it says here wacky rig. A lot of people set up their wacky rigs differently. But this is the way I do it. This is the way that works for me. It's all about, you know, preference usually. But this way has been very, very good for me, so I stick with it. As you see too, they come in different colors too. This is a Carolina pumpkin, and it's got like this little greenish yellow tip on it. And these are really good for attracting a lot of fish, and especially, you know, especially if you're like murky water, you know, if you're like fishing in the dark or in the evening, you know, the fish get really attracted to this. So let's get started. When I set any kind of rig up, really, I always like to have a leader. Now these you could typically set one up on your main line, you know, it's not too hard to do, but I always like to get these ones that are separate, and they sell them in packs that are fairly cheap, like 88 cents, a lot of places, $1 some places. But you get like packs of 6 of these, you know, and they're already tied for you, and you know, they already got the hook tied on for you. Makes it a lot easier, a lot quicker, especially if you're new at fishing and you don't really want to sit there and spend like half hour in the field trying to retie everything, you know. And that's why I like using the swivels, because, you know, you could just easily change this out, you know, take that out, just hook it on, you know, with the loop. If you want to like put something else on here, you just pull it right off, you know, and there's not really much trouble here at all. It's real easy. Just slide that right off, good to go, you know what I'm saying? But these leaders are great because they come in different lengths. I believe this is a 6-inch one, and they're shorter. There's some that are longer, and they all have, you get ones with different size hooks on them. Real small hooks, large hooks, different shape hooks, like wider hooks, hooks with barbs, and you know, like bait holder hooks like these with the little barbs here. You get ones, you know, that aren't bait holder, all different styles of these. I have a pretty good hookup ratio with these hooks. The real tiny ones that they have are better for, you know, other types of fish. I mean, they're good for bass too, but the smaller hooks are mainly good for areas that have a lot of heavy vegetation in the water, you know, heavy weeds, you know, a lot of seaweed, moss, whatever. But the size 4 worked pretty good for me. So we're going to go ahead and hook this onto our swivel here. Go ahead and close the clasp, just like on a safety pin. All right, our next step, these rings here, you can buy these in packs too, and these also come in different sizes. Depending on how thick your bait is, they have small, large. These are the smaller ones because these aren't very big diameter. So small one will make it nice and snug on there. They have tools that you can get, Wacky rig tools, to make this, you know, even quicker. But I've never really used them much. I tend to do okay with this. So basically what you do is take one of these out here, and they're usually, you know, lubricated. So we'll grab the worm here, the ring. Always start at the skinny end first. Stick this right through here. You're just gonna slide it up, that's it. Pull it straight through until you get to this. See this little smooth part? You see all the ridges here? But then here in the middle you got the smooth area. So we're gonna slide it over to that, right over to the smooth spot. There you go, just like that. Now you see these, not all of them have this little slit cut in here. That makes it easier to slide the hook in there. You're just gonna take your hook, slide it through that little pre-cut space, and put it right around that ring there. That O-ring, just like that. Then what I do is I rotate the whole worm up like this, so that your hook is no longer in that groove. Because, you know, when your hook's in the groove, it will make it easier for the fish to pull the hook straight out of there. So this little pre-cut slit is only good for when you're first putting a hook through there. Now you see it's nice and snug, like I can't pull it out real easily. It actually takes some effort. So here you go. And that's your wacky worm setup. Now as you see, the weight will slide down. Now some people don't use weight when they're wacky worming, and I do that sometimes depending on the conditions of the water, but most of the time I usually have some kind of weight on here. It just helps. For me, it helps get the bait to the bottom quicker, and it just kind of works the lure a little bit better. The weight will slide out of the way, and this will just skip along the bottom. And that's pretty much it, folks. So thanks for watching, and hope you guys get out there and do some try this out. Get out there and do some fishing, and hit that subscribe button. Thank you.